birthday letter from Floyd. I'll cut you wide open. Not in your sleep. Won't be that convenient. I want to look you in the eye when whatever blunt object I found makes your gum take its last breath. Then, I will do blow off it. After, I'll cut the gum out and all your degenerate friends from stupid-ass Charleston will do coke off it and say, hey, whose gum is this I'm doing blow off of? And we'll say, oh, some cuckboy I once knew, but I think I forgot, 'cause he's a 6'2" pile of shit. You're one of my favorite people I've gotten to know recently. It's insane. Love you, man. Floyd, 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 Floyd. Fuck your little bitch-ass cuckboy birthday book. Smiley face.
And we're live. Andy Frasco's World Saving Podcast. I'm Andy Frasco. How's your heads doing? How's your minds? Are you staying out of trouble? Are you not letting the demons of 20 shows in a row? How many have we done? We've done 20 shows in a row. Get your hopes down, baby, because we're feeling good today. We're feeling fucking great. Beau in the building. He's my co-host tonight.
Let's go.
How we doing? Cheers.
We're doing good.
Damn.
Got some sleep last night.
Yeah, some of us did. Sometimes Florida is it's like, I like Florida. We're in Florida right now. We're on the beach. We're playing in
Dude, it's
Stewart.
beautiful here. This place is cool.
This place is cool. When I first came here, I'm like, fuck, this feels like the Golden Corral. And actually, it's a cool vibe. There's people coming in. The doors are open. We're out here. We sold like 400 or 500 tickets. I'm really impressed how well this Florida tour is going.
Between Tampa sold out last night, dude. Even Pensacola showed up.
Pensacola showed up. Jacksonville's about to sell out.
Yeah.
It's a vibe. Florida's cool. You know, there's always this stereotype about Florida, like, oh, these people are weird. These people are actually pretty fucking cool.
Yeah. I mean, crazy as shit.
They're
cool.
batshit crazy. Yeah, they're batshit crazy. But
that's why we like them. We get along with them.
We love them. This tour has been amazing. You know, I feel like there's a good energy in the air with the band. Everyone feels a little free.
I think so. I think it's a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
We don't need to go into detail, but but I'd say so. I
feel good. You know, I'm working during the day. I'm playing at night. Do you feel like I feel like I'm getting everything under control?
Yeah.
With just kind of doing the managing myself for the moment.
We've got a solid plan moving forward here.
Yeah. We're building a team. We're delegating. We're fucking becoming mature alcoholics. Let's go.
Yeah.
You don't drink. You don't party.
I mean, I do.
Yeah, not that
as much.
No, not like us.
I can't.
No, you can't.
I can't.
Dude, you're I was thinking about this the other day, Beau. Everyone's like, how much are you paying Beau? This man is fucking taking budgets. Are you like, that was my main goal, is to not overwork you. And I do
We're
feel
good, bud.
Feel better?
We're good.
Okay, good.
Feel good. Especially with fucking, now we got Marty and Nick taking over podcast stuff. That's going to be great.
We hired another producer, Marty Black. Shout out to Marty. Welcome to the World Saving Podcast team. But yeah, tour's been great. I feel like I feel happy again.
Yeah?
Yeah, I really do.
Just like, you seem stressed out for a little bit there.
Yeah, I mean, at first when I was getting all the emails about like advancing shows and stuff, and it just hit me like, oh shit, I am my own manager right now.
Yeah, but that's kind of what you wanted. And you
I've always wanted
you were
it.
doing that a little bit anyways.
Yeah, and I
It's
feel
just like one less step.
I just feel like I'm 19 again in the industry. Like I'm reading all these emails from advances and having my agent hit me up like, we're doing this show. No, we're not. I do feel more in the vavoom when that was the reason why I wanted to be in the music industry in the first place, is to be part of the energy.
Knows the grind. Still.
Knows the grind. It does suck, taking phone calls till about 7 p.m. and then getting on stage.
Yeah,
but that's just transition. Just fucking a ton of managers hitting me up.
Yeah, which is a good thing.
It's a
great
good thing.
Yeah,
But
can't complain about that.
But I'm happy. It's like I do feel like the hot girl right now.
Yeah, you should. You are the hot girl.
Thank you.
We are
I
the
don't
hot
feel,
girls.
We were the hot girls. But my body doesn't feel like the hot girl.
No. I mean, yeah, after 6 weeks on the road.
This is what happened. I knew this was going to happen. The bus spoiled us.
It did.
We went back to the van, and we're like, yeah, let's save some money. And we're like, okay, let's save some money. We are saving some money. Shout out the money. We're making money on this tour.
Let's go.
A little cheaper without the bus. But it was funny because oh shit, I forgot. This is why I was so fucking low dopamine. If I had to deal with when I was really deep in my sadness a couple months ago, right?
On the bus.
Oh my
God.
So I'm glad,
in the van.
but we're going back in the bus. We got
yeah.
it.
Oh, we got it. We got them reserved.
We
We're
got it
ready to go.
reserved. Okay, cool. Yeah, we're going on the Pigeon Playing Ping Pong tour. After this tour is done, on Tuesday you'll see this. We're going to be out of here. But that tour will be over. We have 2 weeks off. I'll be in Nashville. I'm in Nashville all week. And then, guys, I guess I'm playing with Bayless. We're doing my first ever acoustic show.
Ooh, you said that's Mother's Day too, right?
Mother's Day, and the Saturday before. So if you're in Peoria, I think there's only 50 tickets left. Come see Bayless and I talk shit. He's learning all my songs.
We do Canopy.
We're doing it at Kenny's West Side.
Nice. Hell
It's
yeah.
gonna be grungy.
Kenny's is awesome.
I love it. It was a blast. But come out there, and then we start the. It's going down. Amphitheater tour starts May 23rd with Pigeon Playing Ping Pong and
Let's
Dogs in
go.
the Pile. God, the Dogs boys are the fucking best. Aren't they the best?
Yeah.
They're
Dude,
the best.
They're so much fun.
They're-
so easygoing.
Are they here?
No, I think they're.
Oh, they're about to
They
set
got
up.
family down there
Yeah,
too.
yeah. Man, I have been drinking a lot, but I've taken the other extracurricular stuff a little less. Or am I lying about that?
No comment. Plead the fifth if.
I just don't feel burnt out. Why don't I feel burnt out?
I don't know. Adrenaline.
I don't think it's that. I think I feel alive again.
Yeah. Passion.
Passion. I think I have my passion back.
Yeah.
My dick doesn't work.
Well-
I can't. I think that's just the alcohol.
I mean, yeah, that'll do it.
I've been pushing rope. I think just the drinking, and I'm just doing so much that I haven't even thought about beating off.
Because you're just not. You got too much other shit on your mind.
I know.
Yeah.
I did try to, because in some of these states you can't really watch porn too. So it was one day I was kind of courageous.
Back on Twitter.
I was trying to get on Twitter too, but I was then I started couldn't find anything on Twitter, so I started subscribing to OnlyFans girls.
Oh, dude. Desperate times.
And I was in a dark hole. I was like, "Oh shit! Look at my credit card." I'm like, "Damn! I just spent $37 a month."
Seriously?
3 different people just
Oh
to
my
try
God.
to get a nut. But I don't know why we're talking about that. We have Gavin Rossdale from Bush. I don't know. Maybe I was thinking about Bush, and I was like, "Oh yeah." And
Sick.
we got Gavin
Good transition.
Rossdale from Bush on the podcast. This is a big podcast. Bush. Gavin used to date married Gwen Stefani, had kids with her.
Yeah, that's
all
right.
that other
Forgot
stuff.
about all that.
I tried to get deep with him, and he got deep back.
Hell yeah.
And Nick and I were like, "Holy shit, he's actually talking about all this
Oh,
stuff."
yeah.
I'm like, "Do you regret anything?" And he's like, I'll let you listen to it." But he's like, he looked me in the eye through the cameras, and it's so British of him. He's like, "I don't regret anything."
You could see him just going through everything he's ever done.
Man, dude, he's 60 years old, and
He's 60?
or 58.
What the?
He
looks like our
amazing.
age. Yeah.
He's putting out a new record. It's going to be exciting, but can't wait for you to listen to that. But yeah, it's we have a big podcast. I don't know why I was talking about beating off when we have Gavin Ross. I've been telling everyone we're changing the narrative. I'm not going to be talking as much about my dick anymore.
Less drugs.
Less drug talk. We're matured. We're out here just low dopamine. We're trying. You know, everyone's got to mature a little bit. But it just comes to a point. Like, I was going through a tough time. Don't be afraid to listen to yourself. Sometimes you're afraid to listen to yourself because you're afraid you're going to hurt other people in the process. Always trust what you need in life. I was bummed out with my career. I was bummed out with the girl I was dating. I was bummed out with a lot of things. And I just started betting on myself again, knowing that I could do this. And now I'm happier. And it sucks that, the whole situation with Brian and stuff, and I love him to death, and everything's cordial, and we both understand it was the same thing, but I don't know, I just feel happy.
Good.
So
you should.
I sometimes I know we're coming up, but it's also sometimes we just forget about ourselves that we need to be happy too, because we're always trying to make everyone else happy.
Preaching to the choir there,
you do that, bro. You fucking do that every day. I see it in your eyes when you're dead inside. I see that when you're doing the 10,000 mile glare on the side of the stage. You're like, fuck, I don't know. The other day, I was kind of sick. Yeah.
So that was part of it. But I mean, other than that, I haven't really felt it either.
No, I think we're fucking back.
Yeah.
Fucking back, baby.
Let's fucking go.
We're fucking
good
back.
high five.
We're stoked. Also, shout out to volume.com for giving us money. Let's fucking go. My bank account is back too. My bank account is back too. Head to volume.com if you want to get to the live stream business, the best live stream business in the planet. We're about to announce our Patreon style subscription model soon with volume.com. I'll tell you all about it later. But first,
exclusives.
Guys, all the fans of the podcast, I need you to go and like volume.com/Andy Frasco and like my profile page. We're going to narrate and direct all our fans to volume.com for a lot of stuff. Live streams. Every live stream we're going to do, it's going to be through volume.com. We're bringing back the dance party. We're going to do extra episodes of the podcast with just Nick and I every week. People love that. That last week's episode where we were just talking tea was one of the highest downloads of all time.
Nice.
Yeah, so I know you guys like that one. So me and Nick are going to fucking work hard and get you an episode every week of just talking shit. And you only can see that on volume.com.
Uncut episodes, too.
Uncut. Also, we will be putting cameras in the bus like Ed TV.
Ooh.
At 3 a.m., I'm going to turn the band. Everyone starts waking up. We got Sean Eccles in there. How you doing, sir?
I don't like cameras in the bus.
Sean Eccles, how you doing?
Good, man. How are you?
Oh, good. What's up? Get in there. No cameras in the bus?
I don't know. Yeah, it could be bad,
They're not always on. We can turn them on.
Yeah.
All right, okay. Well, like a Floyd cam. That's fun, Just strap one to it.
We said we should get a GoPro
Floyd
and just
cam.
put it on
Sean
Floyd.
Eccles says no cameras in the bus. Okay, maybe not. Actually, that might be a bad idea.
Maybe do it like in the morning.
Yeah, we're gonna do like the extended Monday morning motivation where people could get in the stream with me and we can have a cup of coffee, smoke a joint, and get it popping. There's gonna be a lot of things we're adding, but we're taking the power back. And the best thing about volume.com, if you're a talent, if you're like a comedian, a musician, is we're working on push notification, people, for your fans. Sign up for volume.com. Let's take the power back. Social media is dying. I don't know if it's dying, but everyone's bored of it.
Yeah.
I'm bored of it.
You're still sitting scrolling, but it's like you do it for like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, all right, this is the same
same
dumb shit.
shit. I don't want to see, fucking kids again. It's like I'm over it. I'm just old. I'm like older now, so all my friends are just married and are just like, I could see the dead in their eyes because they had to wake up at 5 a.m. because their kid can't go to sleep. I'm like, Jesus Christ. I'm like, I'm dead in my eyes, but I'm actually doing something I love.
The kids.
Because we are the kids. Let's go. So head to volume.com to get everything Frasco. It's going to be we're building it. So get out there and I need to build the page, and I really want to promote volume.com. They're such a good partner, and I want to be a good partner back. So everyone go to volume.com/Andy Frasco. And also, if you aren't fucking around, don't want to really see more than just once a week of me, there's a bunch of other bands you could go listen to and go watch on the site. So head to volume.com. All right, buddy. We have 2 more shows left.
We got this.
And I don't feel. We're on the beach. Like it's not that fucking
feels
humid.
good.
I always thought that fucking Florida was going to be this fucking humid fucking cesspool, and it's not. It's awesome. I'm having a great time in fucking Florida.
Hell
Tampa
yeah.
Bay sold out. It was fucking sick,
dude. And tomorrow we got the Stranger Boys coming too.
I know. We got oh god
in Miami. Oh boy,
we're going to be in Miami with Little Stranger. By the way, everyone found God at the festival. I got the numbers on day 1. It's fucking huge.
Hell yeah.
We're getting thousands and thousands and thousands of views. Fuck yeah. Thank you guys for supporting that. I know my fans are like, it's all rap. But I did a motivational speech. We sang the chorus. It was cool how that song came out.
Kanika did the chorus too, right?
I had Kanika sing on it. John produced it. It was in-house. We had Skippy on it. It's a fucking family affair in here. We had Ross Bogan on it and Ryan Stasek playing bass. It's all the Charleston fucking homies. And we're amping up, guys. We're putting out more and more singles every month, and you guys are reacting so well to it. And I just appreciate everyone, all the fans coming up to us and saying how much these new songs are meaning to them. And it's a really beautiful thing. We're changing the narrative. People aren't here just to have the party. They like to have the party with the Frasco band, but now they're coming for the songs. And I fucking love that. We're back, baby.
Let's go.
Let's go. Okay. Dogs in the Pile's about to go on. I could hear them. They're about to sit in. Do you have any motivation to give the people before we hear Gavin Rossdale give us a great interview?
Sometimes when you're feeling low, you just got to dig deep, get in there, get down in the trenches.
Get down in the trenches, baby.
And just pull it out and just get fucking pitted.
Get fucking
just
pitted.
Get pitted.
Speaking of pitted, Pit Vipers, you should sponsor this podcast. Beau wears your sunglasses
all
everywhere.
the time.
It's so funny when you settle and you have those pit glasses on.
I don't know how people take you seriously.
They're like, so we sold out and we get a bonus, right? You're like in Pit Vipers.
Just fucking staring people down.
You're killing it, bro. We're doing it together.
Goddamn right.
I know this is a weird transition, but you got my side. I got your side. And
we in this, baby.
We making lemonade, baby. Let's go get them.
Let's do it.
All right, Florida. Thank you so much for all your hospitality, all your beautiful women. A lot of hot women in Florida. Holy shit. And they're fun. Yeah. They're just fun people. They'll go out and drink.
Nice.
Yeah, I went out drinking with a group of ladies last night till about 5 a.m. And it was just the coolest thing ever. Yeah. I was like, okay.
There
was no tensions. There was no we're not all trying to hook up with each other. We're just having fun.
Yeah. Good old-fashioned
fun. Just drinking.
Fun and drugs.
Fun and drugs. I have been doing a couple toots, but yeah, I did a couple toots last night. I'm in Florida. I mean, we're so close to Colombia.
I mean,
you got to do it.
Yeah, totally. When in Rome, right?
When in Rome, yeah. Anyway, enjoy Gavin Rossdale, and we'll catch you on the tail end. Oh, yeah, who's next? Oh, next week, Joe Gatto in Practical Jokers.
Yeah, that'll be good.
That'll be good. And then Nick and I shoot the shit, and we'll go deep down into the tea of the tour in a couple weeks. But what happened?
And then we got the big one.
What big one? Oh, Goose. Goose is, we can finally announce Goose here soon. Everyone's like, where's the Goose interview? It's coming, people. They're dealing with some shit, and we need to fucking have their backs, okay? All right. Love you. Goodbye. Oh, wow. We have a real rock star on the show today. Gavin Rossdale. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, thank you. How you guys doing?
I'm doing good. How's it going out there, bro? So how you're living in Los Angeles. What's the vibe like? How's your head? How's your mind state?
Yeah, everything's good. I've been just finishing up on writing a record. Doing the next Bush record, and it's been a bit of a weird one because sometimes I've gone through it where it may have taken a year to write or 6 months to write, really intense, and this one sort of feels like because I had a few songs already, and then I wrote some recently, and somehow I got to the 10 that have all gone working with the producer, and it's almost like it feels like having a kid without knowing you're really pregnant because suddenly I have this record. Yeah. Oh shit! There's another one. It is the 10th. It is the 10th record, so it makes sense. But yeah, so I feel good. So I'm a bit of a pain when I'm in that mode of like, shit, I got to write songs. Fuck, what am I going to do? So all my time is taken up with that. Whereas when I finished it, now I feel a little bit, I can kind of chill a little bit. That means I just do other stuff. Doesn't mean I literally chill, but it just means that you know. So I feel good. And the sun's out. It's been like Seattle here. I don't know where you guys are. But
Yeah, we're in Denver.
Mad rain.
Yeah.
So it's been mad rain. It's been like living in Belgium, and it's been kind of fun in a way. But I'm happy to be back in Cali because it's now sort of, you know, the Cali skies. I love Denver. It's a mile high. I'll take some mile high.
Yeah. What's the difference between writing for Bush now versus writing when you were younger with no restraints?
Yeah, you know what's weird is that that's a great question. It's funny because when you're at the beginning of Bush, you write with no horizon. You know what I mean? Just an idiot. Like you don't know where life is going. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know where your life's going to take you. There's literally no horizon. Now, when you write, kind of a few summers in, I'm like, dang, I haven't got that many more records to make. You know, before I'm like, stop making records.
You have nothing left to say.
Yeah. So I don't know. I just don't feel like you know, we get better if you just stick at one thing in your life, like a noodle maker or something, hand pulled noodles guy. I just have stuck to Bush for so long that I just feel so connected to it that it's a lot of fun to write write records. And lots of people, you know, the common wisdom is that if you ever hit records, you just can be a nostalgia act and don't have to do anything new. But I'd want to kill myself if I did that. You know, I feel so bankrupt for me personally.
Right.
So therefore, I'm making new sounds, new records, and some of this new stuff I've been doing is so cool. I'm so excited about it because I got a little bit better at the studio, so I can kind of start up these tracks, make it a bit more weird, a bit more interesting.
Right.
And so, you know, it's just I don't understand music that much, and I'm always trying to learn it. And every song is a different voyage into a new discovery, to be honest. And especially in my studio, just the stuff you can do nowadays is pretty cool. And you can just fuck things up and just start in an interesting way. So I've done sort of about 5 regular, more standard tracks thing, and then I've done a bunch of songs that are like more tricked out and more trippy, which I like, you know.
What do you think your strengths are versus your weaknesses as a songwriter and a musician?
Like my strength, my weakness is I still find it sounds so stupid, but I'm not even joking. It's still, music is such a mystery to me. You know, it's still mysterious how the alchemy of certain elements. You know, when you think that Mozart had the same notes, he puts us all to shame, or the Beatles, or the Bowie. So my strength, my strength is this. My weakness is not being not good enough as a guitar player, as a musician. So I have to sort of push things through, and then that's my weakness. And then my strength is not being good enough at music because it's something else.
Exactly.
It makes crazy things happen where I'm like, oh God, why do I have to modulate? Like most people write in a key. If you learn traditionally, classically trained, you write in a key. There's a key. Yeah. And when you're like a self-taught kind of weirdo like me, you have no respect for the keys. So sometimes I'll just push other chords in, and I'll be like, why is it so hard to sing that? So I'll be like, because it's not in the key of the song you've written.
Yeah, exactly.
So I do this modulation thing. I have a natural modulation. Apparently John Lennon had it too.
Yeah, I was going to say John Lennon.
Right. Things were out of the key. So my strength and my weaknesses are really connected.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, as you get old, like, who did I talk? Oh, Joe. We interviewed Joe Bonamassa. He said, like, it's that second 10,000 hours where you finally become a real musician. Like, feel like you're comfortable with who you are as, you know, an artist.
You're refining.
You're refining it. Do you believe in that?
I mean, I think that, and also, you know, for me, lyrically is a massive part. You know, Bush has always been very lyric dependent. I think it's a vibe. It's like people like music, but the lyrics be, you know, the ones that I think help you keep there, you know, keep you going. And I don't know. I just sort of feel like so clear about what I want to complain about.
You know? No, I was thinking about that. You know, it's like the idea of you beat loneliness. When was there a point in your life where loneliness beat you?
Well, all the time at different sort of moments and different times. I mean, like, I think that it's funny because, you know, when I came up, you know, what was so called grunge, such a whatever it means, but sort of music of complaint that wasn't hair metal, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
And it was weird because mental health for men was not really okay to talk about, especially in England. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
They never even
Suppression.
it was illegal to get therapy in England. Did you know that?
I didn't know.
I bet, man.
Hey, at least the
killed
sun's
someone.
always out.
If you killed someone, you're allowed to get therapy. Apart from that, you have to just grin and bear it. But so I think that's really important about this whole mental health thing. And you see, like, the suicides. I mean, the suicide rates are nuts.
Yeah,
You could devote your life to kind of helping people conceptualize that getting help and admitting loneliness, admitting melancholy or depression. I don't have depression, so I don't feel like I'm depressed. I have a sort of a natural ability to be melancholic.
You're just British.
Because I think that's just
Yeah.
part, yeah.
Reminds me
I
of
grew
my
up in the
entire
rain.
family.
No, but I hear you, man. So keep explaining this. Like, what about touring? Like when things were really high, Bush was fucking popping. Like, how did you approach this melancholy? Is what I'm saying. Like, did you accept that you're getting famous, or did you never accept that you were successful?
Well, I had a really weird journey. I don't know what it's like for you guys, because you're obviously doing great with that many shows a year, but it took me a while to a number of bands and a number of years of just steady diet of failure, just endless failure, endless doors, shut doors. And what's worse than someone shutting a door in your face is then shutting a door in your face for like a record company or managers or anyone, and they never tell you why. You know,
Right.
So you're always stuck with like, fuck, what is it about me? And with me, it was always blamed on my voice. They would always say, oh, it's your voice. You can't really sing very well. I probably wasn't any good on stage. So what was weird about being successful, and I don't mean this in a flash way of like, you know, Oasis, you know, they consider themselves the best band in the world. I didn't come from that school. I like that sort of a slightly more different, low-key version of it. So what was weird about being successful or finally selling records is that I suddenly felt like I wasn't crazy for pursuing that dream. I wasn't crazy for thinking that some people would like what I did. You could never expect everyone to like what you do. That would be like, you know, you'd have to do some vanilla anodyne bullshit for everyone to like it,
right.
you know? Maybe everyone liked Portishead. You know, maybe there's the one band ever that everyone's like, okay, that was it. Apart from that, it's if you don't like Slipknot, if you don't like metal, you don't think Slipknot's great, or if you don't like, you know, Mazzy Star because she's too dreamy, I don't know, you know. So everyone can have their critiques. So when I got that moment or that time of, it felt like I was where I should be. You know what I'm saying? Felt actually where I should be of just making records for some people and doing shows for some people. Never expecting world domination and never got it. So there you go.
Do you feel the same level of melancholy for life that is in your art versus your personal life?
Yeah, I think at all times because, you know, we're all products of basically pretty shitty parenting.
Yeah.
And, you know, we didn't really know what they were doing in many ways. And so there is a sense of, I probably do have a chip on my shoulder of trying to be heard or trying to, you know, I'm not like a people pleaser so much, but maybe I am. I don't know. You know, I always want the best. I always believe in people. I want the best of things. People let you down all the time. You know, people are really shitty. And you just sort of, you keep a close core of people. But most people come across like leaning on a tent. You know, it's kind of hard to, most people can't be relied on.
Right.
But that's cool. I mean, nor should they be. I mean, I have a funny philosophy now. Like I'm a complete atheist and not really that spiritual. I just think that there's an energy in the world, the synchronicity of meeting people of like minds. That energy I believe in. But the rest is just being a decent human being and just being considerate of others. is really that basic. And the funny part is that all the people, all the Bible bashers and all the religious nuts are the least kind, least forgiving, least dependable people I've ever met in my life. They're just sort of super judgmental. So my philosophy is just like to just try and kind of, it's a bit of a struggle for everyone. Stuff goes on all the time. There's out of our control. There's out of our control, and you just got to do the best you can. And I think that melancholy is good because it gives you a bit of humility.
Right.
Because boy, when I feel good and I feel happy and I'm like excited about stuff, I really truly am. You know, and it's not. You know, that's because it's not an emotion I don't feel a lot, but it's just like it's all a carousel, isn't it? Sort of you feel up, you feel down. It's just the life goes up and down.
Yeah. Do you feel like when your parents got divorced when you were what, 11 and 12 or 12 or so?
12.
12.
Yeah,
do you feel
12.
like abandonment issues because of that divorce, or did they give you strength?
Oh, both.
Both.
Yeah.
I bet, dude.
Well, my mum left to go and moved to another country, so I didn't see her for a long time, and then I kind of reconnected with her at a later point in my life properly. So that was pretty intense for a 12-year-old boy to like suddenly just be living with my dad and my mum leaves. You know, you don't never live with her ever again. So
that's fucked up.
That's super intense. Super can fuck you up. And the best part, my favorite detail about that, which is when I have a 10-year-old, I have a 15-year-old, or 17-year-old. They are like, I can't leave them for 5 minutes. You know, they can't be left alone. They need shit, right? Just to kind of leave a 12-year-old kid to go to bed every night himself. That's it. You never live with them again. Yeah. It's pretty intense. And my favorite thing about it is that no one offered any help as a kid. You know, I just had to deal with it. It wasn't like talk to someone, go deal with it. Nowadays, it's like, my kid wakes up at night, I've got a fucking message from my ex, like, the kid needs therapy. I don't know if he needs therapy. You crazy? Just like,
He's a kid.
So people are mollycoddled, now we'd like Tiger. Oh my God, it looks blue. It's like, he's sad. Well, anyway. So yeah, of course that really informed me, and I'm terrified of everyone abandoning me because they normally do, they all do. So
yeah, it's kind of weird.
I was
I
right.
mean, it makes sense. Like, were your parents like perfectionists? Like, your dad was a doctor, right? Your mom was a model. So, like, did they expect so much out of you?
No, quite the opposite.
Really?
My mum split. She didn't expect anything, and my dad was just too busy to have any expectations of me. It was a weird one. So I think a lot of my drive was to get his attention. I was always trying to get his attention. And I remember being a funny little fucker sitting in my living room with my dad. It was really sweet, he was there every night, and he was so solid, because most people, if they break up, they live with their mom, dad.
That's what I did. Yeah.
Weird. So it's weird. So I lived with my dad. He was amazing, but he just he had a hands-off approach to parenting. Yeah. His approach was, they're doing fine. Yeah. They're pretty good. I don't think it's like, look, Mom, no hands on a bike. It's like, I think you should hold the handlebar a little bit.
At least one hand.
I certainly hold the handlebar with my kids. But he'd be like, you'll be fine. Yeah. So he had a different approach, he was a bit older. I was his third marriage. I was his third, second marriage, excuse me. He got married after. When he was my dad as my kid, I was his second marriage. And he just was like, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
You'll be fine. Of course you'll be fine. So I was like pretty feral. I mean, from 12 years old, I would go out with my friends and just hang out on the streets around our neighborhood. He would leave in the morning, or would come back from school if I went to school, if I didn't play truant. And and then we'd play soccer. As a youth club, we'd sit in the streets. You'd just sit there on these housing estates. It was just the weirdest existence. And all my friends were there, and I felt like they were Yeah, it's weird because I went to a really smart school, but I lived in quite a poor area. So all my friends that I grew up with were like, you know, postmen, electricians, painters, plasterers. It's very blue collar. So they all worked that. And then the school I went to was really academic and very smart. So then I had this like disconnect between the two. Like I wasn't sure which group to hang with. And by the time my people I grew up with, at 16, I was like, maybe I don't want to be a postman. I don't know if that's so cool. I don't think I want to deliver mail. And I don't want to be a plasterer. I can paint houses to make money, which is what I did when I was doing music. I paint and decorating. But so I really cut myself off from both worlds. And then at 16, I was like, I went away with all my kind of rough lot. And I suddenly realized, what a bunch of idiots. I don't want to be around these people. They're maniacs. You know, all the brothers were like gangsters, like armed robbers, and they were all seen as cool. And I was just like, what is this? So then I went back to my school, and for 2 years, I really studied English literature, Spanish literature, and French literature, and I fell in love with books. So then I was really walk around like Andre Gide in a Mac, and I'd go to the cafe and smoke red Marlboros. I didn't even like them. I was trying to be cool. And I was reading.
Trying to be a beat poet.
Trying to be Bukowski or something.
Yeah, I wanted to be Bukowski is like Ginsberg. So that's when I fell in love with words. And so I was ostracized. The academic school didn't really like me because I'd been really unfriendly and aggressive my first 3 years. My people I grew up with were like, why are you reading books? Well, you like David Bowie, you must be gay, we can't be friends with you, right? So I was like, I was stuck with no one, and I just had these books, and that's when I fell in love with books. And then when I was left school, I decided to be I was like, I should be a singer. What can I do that doesn't have to do a job? So I thought I'd be a singer and write words. And I say to my dad, I'd be like, look, this is me working. And I'd write some shitty lyrics and put them into a cassette recorder, start in a band. And I'd be like, where's my job? So for a number of years, he felt really bad for me because I would just push this terrible idea of being a lyricist and being a songwriter. And I had a knack for it. So I got signed quick to write songs. Publishing deal 6 months, and within 6 months of writing.
Within 6 months?
Yeah,
like Taylor Swift.
Chapel, 6 months.
You and Taylor Swift.
Well, yeah. I tell you, I got $5,000 advance, £5,000.
Oh, okay.
And when I signed with Bush, or got that going, they looked and they saw that I had to pay $350,000 to Warner's to get off that deal.
Wow.
So that I could get a fresh publisher.
God.
So it kind of worked out for them in the long run.
So did Warner pay that, or were you indebted to them?
No, I was indebted to them, but I didn't understand how it worked. That was the price they put on me to buy out of that deal, because I never got past the 5,000. I never sold any records and made records. So they, for whatever reason, had to sign that check. So yeah, it's tough. But so yeah. Why did we get onto that? But
no, we were talking about just earlier in your life and how I'm curious, like, when did your dad finally said he was proud of you? You said he was like, oh, I feel sorry he's doing this thing. When did he finally tell you that you felt like he was proud of you?
Well, the thing about it was that he was the sweetest man. So he was never not proud of me, but I think that he never saw a show. He only saw one show of mine. I'm not even joking. Wow. Saw one show
still
in my band in Bush. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And that was I flew him to New York. Well, he flew to New York and he came to Madison Square Garden.
That's a good one show. Yeah, that's a good one to go.
It was good. It was we peaked. We started. We peaked.
Yeah.
And he apparently spent the whole time just looking round at the audience. So he was really supported me. He was really an amazing, sweet man. He just was very busy. I was not interested in being a traditional parent. He didn't see it as, he was traditional. Instead, he'd come home and put food on the table. We lived in a nice little house, really small bedroom. I loved it, that little place. And when my kids saw where I grew up, they were like, how do you sleep in this room? It's like so stupid.
Just lay down.
It's so bougie. I made the best bougie kids. How do you sleep here? I feel like this is the best.
You got to remind them, this will all go away if you don't find if you don't have time. You better be good at rugby stuff. No, but I think that's very fascinating because like, you know, my parents just didn't understand my music life. I started touring when I was 19, and because of that, my parents were together, but they never were that happy. So like, I had this like weird idea of relationships. Like, how did this idea of abandonment that everyone was going to leave you, how did you keep Bush around for so long? You know, because it's like that. If it's in your head,
Good song. They like the songs.
Yeah.
They like the lifestyle.
It helps when you're selling
They
out
got good
Madison
seats
Square
on
Garden.
planes.
Yeah.
They got good seats on planes. You know, I don't know. No, I mean, I've actually maintained with the first incarnation of Bush. Well, I was just really lucky to get 3 other people that were really into working that hard. I mean, when you guys, you say you do 250 shows a year. I mean, wouldn't you agree that the biggest component, or not component, but the biggest
Catalyst?
something that you have to have
Oh,
is great connection. I don't understand these bands that tour and don't like each other. You know, they're making loads of money and they ignore it. Like, I really like my first guys I was with, and I really, you know, love them, and I love these guys I'm with now. These guys I'm with now, well, I'm with now for like 13, 14 years. It's a long time.
Yeah.
They're like they're family to me. I love them, and I love being around them, and I don't have a sense of abandonment with them. I just think that if you've had that shit in your life, you have a sense of abandonment of relationships, of personal relationships, and you're always expecting someone to leave. I'm always thinking, well, that they should be off by now. Yeah, that's about it. You know,
Right.
They won't be around much. I just have that. I have that intrinsic. I just can't help it. I just assume that. I thought that the whole way through. Of every relationship I've ever been in, and I've been right a lot of times.
Yeah. Like, that's what I'm thinking. Like if you, like, say with Gwen Stefani, like, the idea that you had in your head that everyone is just going to leave me.
Say Gwen as an example. Why not?
Say Gwen or anything. Like, I was just like, first relationship,
Random.
like, you know, random, whatever. Yeah. The idea that I'm like this too. Like, I always think it's going to end before it starts.
Yeah.
Like, how do we get out of that idea that everything is just going to fucking just fall apart and makes us want to do things we shouldn't do?
I think that if anything, it's an ability to say that and to communicate. I think that if people hear that, they can give you the whatever you need, whatever would help you. I think the danger of that is, and I've done it my whole life, of feeling these things and they're not expressing it. I heard the best. There's this amazing philosopher, Alain de Botton, and he wrote this incredible thing about what sulking means. You know, sulking, when people are in a relationship and they sulk. It's such a great definition. He says sulking is when one person is so deeply hurt by the other person. I'm paraphrasing, obviously, I didn't memorize this, but when one person is so deeply hurt by the other one in the relationship because they've done something, the other person has done something and they didn't. Let me explain it better. Yeah, so you're upset about the other person, but you don't tell them why. You just think they should love you enough to know what you're annoyed about. So your inability to describe what's upsetting you, and then your partner's inability to recognize you're even upset, that's sulking.
Yeah.
And you get to this situation, it's like an impasse where someone's annoyed and sulking, and the other person has no clue what they're upset about. Whereas if that person, instead of sulking, say, hey, this bothered me, or this triggered something in me, I felt something about that. Could you let's talk it through. And then there's no sulking, there's just pure communication.
Right.
And so that would be that's the one where things can last, is when you communicate, and then it's cool. You know?
Yeah. But how do you communicate when, as men, we didn't even know how to communicate because we couldn't even have a fucking therapist to talk to.
Men started communicating like 3 years ago.
We got to step up and just like say what it is. It's much like when you write your lyrics and stuff like that. Sometimes it's really fun to just like be just what is true, what's truthful, what I really think about this, because you can just write it down yourself. If you're being a bitch, you'd write it down for yourself to know about it.
Right.
What's really bothering me, you may want to share your bitch qualities too quickly, but you may want to look at them and say, okay, am I being a bitch here, or am I justified?
Yeah.
And,
how many times were you being a bitch versus being justified in your life?
Yeah. And there's always going to be a little mixture of both, and it's okay to be a bitch sometimes, because sometimes, why not? Like, fuck, can't all be like stoic and perfect and strong and right. I think that sometimes it's okay to just like, there's that world of, they call it the dialogue of intimacy, like when you talk to your partner and you're honest about what you feel about things, that your partner can't defend it, can't tell you. It's not based in fact. It's not based in, it's not about defending it. So the other person listening cannot correct, defend, justify, explain. They just have to take that person's feelings and say, okay, you feel this way. Let me process those feelings, not my reasoning why that's not justified. Just like, how can I do that? And that's when you have true intimacy with someone.
This is why I needed to be British. Because you are so fucking, like, you have such a real, America has this fairy,
I need to be British.
fairy tale idea of like romanticizing things that really shouldn't be romanticized.
Yep.
Like, why can't we just get down to the nitty gritty and say, sometimes life fucking sucks. Sometimes we can't communicate, and we got to take the wins when we take the wins. Why do we always have to feel like we have to take a win every day when we don't feel like taking a win?
Right. I sometimes feel like people are scared to communicate too, because they're scared to hear what the other person's going to say. Sometimes they're going to hear something they don't want to hear,
That's true too.
Yeah.
Right. But then the problem is that imagine that, but the opposite of not hearing that. Imagine that's such a disconnect.
Exactly.
He was someone, they're thinking, something completely different from you. It seems it's such a circuitous way to live. Like, really, if you just like go, you just talk and you just figure it out, that seems to be the way. By the way, I'm perfectly good at going all around the houses and not getting things done. But I just mean that on an ideal level.
Same here, dude. What do you think? What are your, like, do you have any regrets in life? Any regrets that you should have done something differently than you did?
I wish I'd done some better arrangements on Razor Blade Suitcase. I feel like I could have edited some songs on that record.
Do you listen to that
I feel
differently?
like we were a little bit, we were a little too proud of ourselves of being a live band that could stretch songs out. So I could have done with a bit of editing. And then outside of that, I think that like, it's incredible. Life is just a series of memories, and they either crush you or they give you insight. It's either wisdom or they wound you. And so the idea of living in regret just seems like such a waste of energy. You can totally say, man, I fucking way would have done that better.
Right.
I did not handle that right. I gotta say, I didn't handle it right. But the idea of living in regret just seems so
dreadful.
It's like putting a weight on the past. Like, why not just fucking learn from stuff and try and get a bit of wisdom so that you maybe don't do it again. Because that, obviously, as we know, is the definition of madness, to keep doing the same thing over and over. So I don't believe in regrets, because, in a weird way, and everything you ever did, if you take it back to the moment you did it, there was something in you that wanted to do it.
Right.
I mean, I do regret once I went one time, I was at a fucking air show, and my best friend came with me, and I was with my family when I was married and everyone, and we went up in a stupid plane that did this sort of like acrobat, plane acrobats, like a fucking, stupid little plane.
Right.
You're upside down, whoopie-doo. And for some reason, I agreed to go in that plane. I was like, I sat in this stinky-ass plane, really stank. He was a really good flyer, but he was not a hygienic man. right?
Too busy learning to fly.
We would do a couple of spirals. And I was thinking, what the fuck am I doing this for? The risk to reward ratio is bullshit.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck if I do a couple of somersaults in the fucking sky. Go fuck yourself in the fucking plane. And I did it like an idiot. And I was like, he did a couple of turns. I was like, you know what? I'm all good. We can go back down. He was, I totally regret this. I did not make a smart decision. So I'm happy to go down at any point. So I deeply regret that.
Yeah. I dude, that's
I would never do that.
I would fuck all that, Gavin.
So don't
Why
don't fly United.
so don't fly United. Yeah, that's basically what we're saying. Don't fly Boeing planes. But you know, so
yeah, it's the last time I ever flew Southwest, by the way.
so can you tell me why the band broke up the first time, or 2002, and then what was going on?
Well, we never broke up. You know, this is a war of attrition. What happened is that we'd done a few records. We'd done on tour for so long, and Nigel, the guitar player, felt that he had missed his kid growing up, the first kid. You know, he was like 4 or 5 years old, and he felt he'd missed a lot of time. So he wanted to take a break. I totally understood that. He's a little bit older than we were, so he wanted to take a break. He was less fit, and so he wanted to be with his family, which is a beautiful idea, but you know, you got to work. So
yeah,
we took a break. Then, and I did a side project. I did Institute. That took way longer because Jimmy Iovine. I was on Interscope, so I wanted to be super cool and be on like Matador and like, you know, Rough Trade and like, oh look, Chino's playing fucking churches or whatever. Do a side project and be super cool. And I always think side projects were like a display of over creativity. Just so creative, this got to go and do another band. So I did that, and that took longer because they made me write for 3 fucking years.
What?
Like they made me write.
Whoa.
Jimmy Iovine, yeah, it was over and over. And I was like, oh my God, this is meant to be a side project. So I did that. And then in 2 months, this first song, Bulletproof Skin, which is a fucking good track.
Yeah, it is.
Got wherever it did, got wherever it got. And then they go, okay, you got to do another record now. And so I asked to do a Bush record. And the guys didn't want to tour. Still didn't want to tour. So I had a bunch of songs and I went and did, which is, I don't agree with this. I'm not into a solo life. I mean, Jerry Cantrell is the only person I know that can be in a solo project that I care about.
Yeah.
Outside of that, I think singers in bands, I personally prefer to see the band.
Yeah.
I'm always like, I know people want to see Bush more than they want to see me, and so I didn't feel comfortable doing a solo career. Some people do it, so as I say,
yeah,
I can't fault that, and you know I got to be careful. So
yeah.
You know, the only thing I say is about me. It's not about other people,
right?
Know?
No, totally.
It's your personality.
And then they didn't want to come back. Then they didn't want to come back, and then actually the drummer only came back because I said, "Let's get the band together." And the bass player Dave said, "I could do it, but for a year." Nigel didn't want to do it. I was like, "Do it for a year." I mean, like, we got momentum. We got to like,
yeah.
You know, I mean, like, this was by the way a long time ago. It was like 15 years ago. So therefore, clearly, I was intending to do it for longer than a summer.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then I got a new incarnation and just did it like that. So that's how. So it was never we broke up. We never had an argument. Never fell out.
Yeah.
Never had any issues. It just sort of that's the way it went.
But it was kind of like it must have been heartbroken because like you know it's back to that you feeling that abandonment. Like your guys didn't want to fucking ride with you again. Did that fucking bum you out?
Sort of, but I'd been doing the band. Chris joined in 2002, helped out, covered for us in 2002. So I already had Chris, and I was really friendly with Chris. And then when I did the solo record, I had Corey that I met, that he just was the best bass player I'd ever played with. I really enjoyed him. And so yes and no, because sometimes with I was excited about my friendship with Chris. You know, we're like best friends, and it was like, okay, fuck, you know, yeah, there was this I was surprised, but it was like there was an exciting solution right in front of me. You know, you guys have noticed that the biggest problems in your life, or the biggest answers, biggest questions that you'll ever have, the answers are always super close. They're never far.
Right.
They're never far. I'm always like looking far away for answers when I just go, look close. That's where your answer is.
Right.
And so I had Chris and I had Corey, and then I got the Robin to come back. So that's how that worked out. It was, you know, I think things work out how they should. I don't believe in to that question about regrets. Life is how it should be, even the worst bits, even the most painful bits. It just is an order of things. I feel there's an order of things. So I'm not completely stone cold, nothing. There's no energy in the atmosphere. There's something. So I believe we are where we should be. You know?
You're atheist, but not that atheist.
Well, no, because I don't believe in God. I don't believe in a higher power.
Right.
As a kid, I went to at my schools, you know, in England. I sang Latin hymns every day.
Right.
It's crazy.
I went to church every day. So I often think that my musical training and my kind of understanding of melody and cadences is from hymns. It's from hearing hymns my whole life. Because that was the big training, that and Motown, you know.
Yeah.
When did you realize
like
God?
The radio, but
sorry.
but definitely, yeah.
No, I hear that. When did you realize that God doesn't exist?
Well, I just always thought that I couldn't. When I was a kid and small in church, I'd be looking around going, "Come on, really?"
Same thing, dude.
Yeah.
Come on. I'd be like, look around, and be like, what? You know? Come on. I mean, it just seems so far fetched. It still does.
Yeah.
I just cannot believe that people. I just feel that people. Yeah, it never resonated. Now, here's a fun fact. I have a half brother. My dad was married. His first marriage. My half brother was a vicar. Then he became a bishop. There's only 12 bishops in England.
Wow.
He became a bishop, and he's the worst person I've ever had to deal with. So,
man, I mean, they are narcissists sometimes.
They're narcissists.
The people that get that far in religion they're smart, but they're very obsessed with themselves. Yeah.
I had to deal with him since when my father died. He left me as a trustee, and with my brother, who I don't really know that well, just the two of us. So it's been super Shakespearean, like awful. Two polar opposite people trying to manage a very modest sort of estate. It's been tortuous, and so yeah. The worst, you know, and that's someone who's given his life to religion. This is like nonsense. Oh,
What's he say to you?
The least
being an atheist, how does he try to get you back to the dark side?
Oh, we have no connection.
Yeah.
We have no connection. I had a sort of
just DNA.
We've had some. We just have to deal with. I have to look after my step. Whatever. It's. We have to do some business that we have to deal with. We have nothing to do with them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing to do. Never had a conversation about that. I mean, whatever.
I want to go quickly back to the past about your mom. Did she ever apologize for abandoning you?
Sort of. I mean, I have a great relationship with her now. I totally forgave her, and she's my mom. Brought me into the world, and I always took it as a one time, sort of. There's a lot of stuff that is kind of unsaid, but you know, I don't live in that kind of regret with her. You know, she brought me into the world. I think she went through a rough time where she just was not happy. And the weirdest thing is that it always made me feel. I mean, obviously, it broke me in many ways, but in some ways, but I really took it objectively as like, you know, adults get it wrong all the time.
Right. It's her first time doing it.
Like, wow. Like, it's funny because I see people in church and I go, oh, come on. Like, really? Yeah. And then when that kind of shit goes on and that stuff, I just think that she was just really unhappy living there. So the last couple of years with her were quite difficult because she was just upset in the house, and so that was quite contentious anger,
Right.
So it was anger, and then I was just like, gosh, she's fucking unhappy. That's an unhappy person.
Yeah.
I just reconciled that, and then when she was gone, I just like, I don't know, I just gone with it. It was weird.
Yeah.
Very weird.
Sometimes closure for that kind of stuff works to kind of like move on with it. You know, like I was always thought
Can't change it.
Can't change it. I like this idea of
it's like the regret thing.
I think that people should be allowed to be human. Humans, we're all so flawed. It's all about forgiveness daily, just forgiving people for just because, when we hold on to things and we judge people, as we all do, we try not to, you end up carrying that burden. It becomes a burden, a large burden.
Mm-hmm.
And with forgiveness and perspective and not taking things personally and just seeing other people on their journey, you're suddenly not carrying all that baggage.
Right.
Right. Don't take it personal. I mean, I think that the biggest trick of life, best life hack ever, is don't take things personally.
Yeah.
When we take things so personally.
So
time,
true.
Goodness, everything you say, I agree.
But if you just take the view that it's not being done to us, it's a reflection of other people. Everything's a reflection of other people, how they behave, how we react is the reflection of us. You can just choose, and that's where I have Buddhist spiritual leaning, because that's the Buddhist teachings and all these interesting. I was reading, I do like these Maharaj, this guy, I am not my mind. It's brilliant. My mind is not my problem. It's my mind's problem. I'm not my mind.
Yeah.
By the way, all these they're all part of these lyrics I have in these new songs. I'm not my mind. But it's such a great idea, isn't it? Like, if you're seriously worried about something, you can just say, hang on a minute. It's just my mind that's worried. That's not me. It's my mind. Let my mind worry. Leave it alone. And you don't feed it. That's the power in letting go.
The detaching of mind is freedom, right?
Yeah. If you detach yourself from your mind, you're just gonna let your mind have
the British.
Why would you carry bullshit around? No, that's Indian. That's Indian.
That's true.
That's not British. That's literally an Indian mystic, Maharaj.
So I guess like that. My first question about regret you answered. So my question about forgiving yourself is answered too. Because if you're not worried about the past, then you've already forgave.
Yeah, you do have to forgive yourself, and it's a battle because you feel that all these concepts, before you think about it, it's like the weeds of regret or the weeds of beating yourself up. I'm really self-punitive. Punitive superego is my psychiatric evaluation. So all the time you have to beat those things away because the natural instinct is to take responsibility, take it personally, fuck it up into the next thing, fuck it up into the next meeting you have because you're annoyed about what happened earlier. And all these things you just let go, They're just these burdens. And that's how I live at my best. That's what I believe in.
And also
that and marijuana.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you ever get into like substance abuse or anything?
Yeah, I've self-medicated my whole life. I'm from London.
Yeah.
That's what I got.
But like anything like heroin or coke or some bad stuff or no?
Well, no, the thing is as well, in England, everybody does cocaine. So I just never liked it. But even not liking it meant that like once every 2 weeks, I have to like spend a dumb night with my friends talking bullshit, waking up being like, oh my God.
You love Denver.
I don't like it. Just the best thing about cocaine for me is that it's shit for being creative. So it's just the worst.
It's the worst
drug ever.
Yeah.
Oh, like I haven't, it's not my thing, but back in the day, growing up in London, he's like everywhere. It's like, so I'd be like, try and write on it and see how interesting can I be? And I'd read the next morning, I'd go, absolutely not interesting one bit, fucking useless. So, where I grew up, I grew up in the centre of London, so super druggy, clubs and whatever like that. But there's two factions. One faction is the kind of what you'd now call, weed or Molly or, just drugs that are social, drugs that are interactive, whatever, just fun. And, but you work with their fun. When you get into and then there's the other side, which is the heroin, crack, meth, those kind of, that's when drugs are people's vocation. They're so broken. They're fucking so broken.
Right.
That those drugs help those breaks. They don't, that's those drugs. And so I grew up with tons of people that have died of heroin overdoses, smack addicts. And if they're not heroin, they're not dead from it. Their whole life defined by whether they're using or not. Hey, how you doing? How is this? Brilliant. I've been sober for 3 months. Oh, brilliant. Not like anything they've created, anything they're doing. It's just a battle with the drugs. So there's a dividing line really clear for me, because I'm from London, so I'm really well versed in all this stuff. And I just never had any interest in nihilism. I was broken, but I am broken. But I love music so much, and I love performing, and I don't want to do stuff that makes me sing for shit. And you can't be a good singer if you're just doing loads of coke and just fucking bullshit. So no, I'm not into anything heavy. I'm just sort of much more. I'm a lot of fun.
Yeah. Do you drink or no?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Of course, I'm English.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the best part, I remember once being on tour with my drummer, and he called up a friend of his in Glasgow, and he goes, the guy goes, "Hey, you want to go out for a drink?" He goes, "No, I'm not drinking right now. I'm clean." He goes, "Okay, you want to go for a beer then?"
That's so good.
That's fucking amazing.
Frasco's gonna move to Glasgow.
I'm moving to Glasgow, baby.
Just a beer. I do also because I like alcohol with food, and but I've been doing this thing. I was thinking I was drinking too regularly. I don't ever drink loads. So in a night, I'm not like a 10 beers guy. But, it's really hard. 6, comes around the day and it's like a cold beer in a cold glass. It feels really good. So I just did that crazy water fast. I did 3.5 day. Dana White inspired me to do the 80-hour water fast.
Hold on.
And that
Only water?
I didn't,
Only water?
Yeah.
No vitamins, nothing, just water?
Water. Well, I did a black coffee, 2 cups of black coffee for 2-3 mornings. I was like, oh my God, this will be so good when I can put milk in it. And 3 days, 3.5 days.
How'd your body react to that? How'd your body react?
I was fucking really happy, like so good, like amazing. I totally it looked like I had it really looked like I had a facelift because I was like, okay, I look a certain way. I'm getting older, so it's okay. I'm not cracking as much as I could crack, but I'm cracking and drooping and dropping, whatever. Like life goes on. But then when I did that 3 days, something I was like, oh shit, maybe the chocolate and beer isn't good for me.
Luckily, you had a high ceiling to begin with.
Yeah,
I was like, damn. Really was like, oh my God, I was like looking at the side and really and then what it does is it just resets your mind to just want to eat clean and not drink every day. So then I was like, drink every day, every other day. Yeah. And I just drink every day. I mean, that went away and I'm back to drinking every day. Yeah. But I'm going to do it again so that it's crazy. My life is one craving to another. That's a very Buddhist concept.
Holy
shit. Craving. My life is a fucking series of stepping stones through the day, but all the cravings that I have, and what makes me happy. It's weak, but I have my cravings.
It's crazy. This man has seen it all, and now you're a great dad. Like if you learned from how you wanted to be a dad, from seeing how your dad treated you, to now you're taking those lessons of what you don't want to do and approaching it to your kids. Yeah. Fucking amazing.
Yeah. So, I mean, I was always accused of being the one with the least discipline because I basically, it's a competition. I wanted the best household, right? Yeah. So I wanted to have the best fucking time. Right. I wanted the best video game, the best fucking anything. Just make it great. When they come in, it's a win, Yeah. So all I've ever been really big on is manners. Like I'm really super big on like, you know, how they eat and how they meet people and how they look in people's eyes. And I say to them, you know, be funny and be polite, and you know, life is going to open up for you. Because I think the most crucial thing for kids, if you have kids, the most crucial thing is that just make your kids likable. Just make your kids likable.
Yeah.
Because if your kids are not likable, if they're shitty kids, they're going to have a shitty life with shitty friends.
Yeah,
it's true.
And no future. Make them likable, make them cool, make them like aware of other people, like thoughtful, funny.
Right.
You know, that's all that I think I've figured that matters. You know, the funniest thing about my kids is they all become crazy musicians now. I never pushed it. You know, I have a studio here. And then now I've got 2 great guitar players. My eldest son is singing and playing, and so is my 15-year-old, and really, well, way better than I ever was. I mean, much better than I ever was. I'm like, much better than I ever was. And they're impressive. And the 10-year-old is now into piano, and he has lessons every week. He's been playing like maybe 3 months now. He's really good. He can play Interstellar. I sit with him in my studio. I say, just play that, please, just play that song. He can do the ding. I'm like, blows me away.
It's gonna be like Partridge Family over there at the Rossdale family. Are you guys gonna all join a band?
No, not at all. Because I'm not gonna. What's beautiful about it is that they do it independently of me. Like it's not like I'm not in the band. You know, I'm not doing it with them. They might ask me something sometimes, but they have to. I find it really primal. Like they have to be independent of me. I don't do it so that they're like leaning on me. And like,
right.
You want them to just they turn their back on you. They become independent. They're young men. So when they go off and learn their things, I mean, obviously they've got great guitar pedals, and they've got they've got all these fucking guitars. They can, I went into storage with my 15-year-old the other day. He's like, I'll take that Strat, I'll take that bass, because they're sitting in storage, and he's got great guitars. And I think there's nothing wrong with them having it. They all started with terrible guitars, right? But it's much more fun as musicians, you understand, when it sounds good. Yeah. It's much more fun.
Totally.
It sounds good. So I get a good sound for them. I just basically, to get a really wicked sound. For the 15-year-old, the other one doesn't want my help. Yeah. And I like that,
I like that too.
But they play Green Day, they play Foo Fighters. It's made me really appreciate, like I always loved Everlong, but fucking what a fucking great song.
I know.
That guy can write, man.
Dave's in the valley too. Do you guys talk? Do you guys hang? You and Dave? He lives in the valley.
We've spent many, many years together because our 3 is a bit like Fiddler on the Roof or something, because my 3 sons went to the same school as his 3 daughters.
Oh, wow.
I love it.
It's pretty funny. We're good at school assemblies. It's like me, Dave, Paul Stanley, his kids or his son went there. So, yeah.
Rockstar High School.
So I go pretty, like with me and Dave, it was a tricky beginning. We didn't get on at first. And then we saw each other a lot. I did a Bush record. I recorded drums at Studio 666, whatever his studio is called.
Yeah.
Well, he's really great. I love him. I wish I could see him more. We live close by, but he's I don't know. I think I like him more than he likes me.
Gavin, thanks for being on the show. Right. You're the best. Keep rocking. I can't wait to hear the new record, and thanks for being so vulnerable. Later.
Thank you.
Bye.